Welcome to Maximum Overload Podcast. I'm your host, G. Holloman. On this podcast, we take you inside small businesses to give you insight on how, what it takes, and where they're at currently. If you appreciate the content, hit the like button. Deny me if you wish, hit the dislike button.
What's going on, everybody?
Both support the
it's
show.
Maximum Overload Podcast. I'm G. Holloman. I have a special guest here with me today. I will let her introduce herself.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
Hey, well, thank you for having me on. My name is Jenna, and I am owner of Picnic Chemistry. I'm an event planner that specializes in pop-up picnics, and it's Picnic Chemistry on Instagram. We have a TikTok, Facebook, and also on my website, picnicchemistry.com.
Cool. So I want to dive right into it. Jenna, where are you from?
So I am from New Jersey. You'll be able to hear it when I say certain words like dog and coffee and certain things. And I've been here for about here in Florida for 3 years now.
Okay. I want to ask you, did moving to Florida, did that have some take in you starting off your business and being an entrepreneur? Moving from Jersey to Florida, go into that.
So to be honest, I think if I had stayed in New Jersey, I wouldn't have come across the business that I'm in now. Actually, I came across another pop-up picnic company here in Florida, and there are no other of the similar companies back in my hometown. So actually, I recently did a soft launch in my hometown because there are no other picnic companies. So I feel like if I didn't move here and actually see that and come across another similar company, it probably wouldn't have inspired me as much. And I also think moving to a whole nother state played a lot of, I would say, like a huge role into like being courageous into doing things. Like, you know, the feel of failure and taking a big leap. I think that aligns also with being an entrepreneur. So probably not if I had stayed in New Jersey. I think it played a huge role in coming here to Florida, for sure.
Cool. So I want to ask, what got you into doing the event pop-up picnics in itself? Was that what you targeted, or what? Explain what exactly got you into just that phase of it.
Yeah, so I know pop-up picnics are very, very new, and people like, you know, where did that idea even come from? So I actually kind of walked into it. Well, technically walked by it. So at Vinoy Park here at the pier, I was walking with a friend of mine, and I saw somebody having this really fancy picnic, and it was all lit up in a big like globe-looking thing, and I was just so intrigued by it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is that? And I didn't even know it was like a business. But at the time, I was also feeling like a lack of inspiration and lack of creativity in my. I just knew something was missing at the time, and later on, I found out that it was, expressing myself in a creative way that I was missing. So I just so happened to walk by another picnic company down at the pier, and it kind of just went from there. I started Googling. I didn't even know what it was, a picnic. I just knew that they were outside having a date, and there was lights, and it was really fancy. So I was Googling, like, light up picnic globe and something. Well, picnic ended up coming up, and then, like, the algorithm kept showing me different stuff. And then I found that there's such thing as a picnic company. So I was like, I could do this. And I just put my own spin on it and started creating from there.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, what separates you from the normal
picnic company?
Yeah.
So I really believe in that we can have something similar in business. I don't feel like there's competition. I feel like we can all take a piece of the pie and just make ours different. So what I did with my picnic company to make myself different from the others is that I focus on other women-owned businesses. So one of my company's missions is to support local and to support other women-owned businesses. So through every booking that I do, I have products and services that are from other women-owned businesses through every booking that I have. So I knew that made my company different compared to the other picnic companies. I made sure that my company had a mission.
Right. And do you do that because of you remember the hard time you experienced? Is that why you support women?
Yeah, I come from a very traditional family, so it wasn't really instilled in me. It's something like I really learned of how to be a hyper independent woman and do my own thing, and so and nothing against anybody that does believe in traditional values, but I definitely know how it feels to want to do your own thing outside of your role that you play in a relationship as a woman. So yeah, I like to inspire like other women too, that they can do whatever it is that they, put their minds to.
I hear you. What are some of the hurdles and challenges that you had starting up the
My company?
Yeah.
So I was broke when I first started. I didn't really have much to start with. So, and I also never started a business before. So there was a lot of challenges that I had to go, like, how do you even start a business? Like, you have an idea, but right, how do you carry through, like follow through with it? So, I Googled things. I was like, how do you start an LLC? How do you start a business? How do you create a website? Because I went to go look up how much it costs to hire somebody to do a website. I'm like, I don't have this money. So I had to learn I built my own website. It's very like simple and stuff. And as time went on, I was able to add more as I learned more, and I was able to pay people to kind of guide me. But at first I didn't have any money to really to put into it. Right. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, they start businesses because they have money. There's a lot of other people that start businesses because they don't have it, so you find a way. So that was definitely one of the hurdles, was just trying to put it all together with limited resources. So if I didn't have it, I would find it somewhere. I would find the education online. I would find somebody that knew how to do something I didn't know how to do and see if they were willing to teach me. And yeah, so that was, I had a little bit of money to invest in it, but that was definitely some of the things, was just not having that many resources. But if you have a will, I know it's very cliche, but there is a way. You just got to, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I hear you that. Who was that one person that supported you through this when you had your vision of starting up and you wanted to go with that vision? Who's that one person that was there?
My dad. My dad has been, as I've gotten older, my dad is like my best friend. I actually called him on the way over here. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to go be interviewed in a podcast. It's just really cool. It's like, to have like that support, and he's just so excited for me, and he's helped me set up. He came down here a few times. He lives in New Jersey, but every time like I had a win or even a challenge, like I would call my dad and I'm like, Dad, like, I got something going on. I don't know what to do. And he would always like just calm me down, because sometimes like my anxiety, like I have a lot of energy, so sometimes I can channel it towards like, doing a lot of great stuff, where it can go the opposite way. So my dad has been a huge supporter, just emotionally, and just keeping my head in the right direction, and just being a soundboard for me.
If anybody wanted to do what you're doing for his pop-up picnics, event planning like that, what would you suggest to them for how to get started? I know you just told us how you got started, but can you elaborate or break any of that down? Since you've already been into it, and you can go into anything that you would do differently as well. So
one of the most important things I would say for the success of somebody who's looking to start their own event company is build your network. Because you, as an event planner, you can't do it alone. It definitely is like, you have the vision and then you put it all together. But as the event planner, you can't do everything. There's always going to be somebody that has a piece of something that you need for them to do. Like I have a girl that brings in food. I have a girl that brings in the baked goods. I have another girl that does gift gifts. Like, so there's just always somebody that can come in and complete the vision. I think that's just, it's really important to have a really solid network and to build, you know, like your preferred, like they would say vendors list, but I definitely think it's like more important than that to have like good rapport. Definitely do that, because what people do is they'll refer you once they see your work and, you know, they know that they can depend on you, because you can have like a great, you could be good at what you do, but not, if people don't know about your product or your service, then it's just sitting there in the dark. So it's good to, you know, build that network, build rapport, you know, and then also like, I would say make sure you figure out what you want to specialize in events. Some people like birthdays. Some people do weddings. I do pop-up picnics. I would say find something first, double down on it, something you really like to do at first. Start small, and then get bigger from there. You know, right. Just double down on what you're naturally feel like. If you're really good at setting up birthdays, start there. Double down. You know, build your network, and then grow from there.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. What has helped you more? Word of mouth for is gaining clients, getting clients, or your website, social media? What's helped you more?
Social media, 100%. Tagging, posting. I mean, social media, if you use it right, you don't have to. I mean, word of mouth is great. Like, I definitely make sure I let people know about it, but like that can only get so far when it comes to like word of mouth. Social media, you can get across hundreds of platforms if it gets shared correctly. If you have the right reel that gets tagged, somebody shares it. Definitely social media. I would say probably about 80% of my bookings are from Instagram.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good. Tell me about an experience that you wish never happened with a client.
With a client? I don't know. I don't really think I've had a really that bad experience with any of my clients. There was one where a client got rained on. I mean, I wish that didn't happen, but you can't really help what happens with the weather.
So no one's ever been upset at you, or you just, nothing's...
No, I've never had somebody be like, I hated this. No, this was an awful experience. I don't know, because I really make sure, I don't know, I'm really big on customer service, right? I always make sure that, you know, they're happy. I meet them when they get there. I meet them right at the very end. I always check the weather. I'm like the weather woman, and like when I have a booking, I'm checking it from like the hour, because I've had to move some bookings. Like sometimes I've had a booking at 7 and the weather said it'll start raining at 7, so I've had to push it back.
Right.
But to be honest, like I've never had anybody just tell me this was awful, or you know, it wasn't really pleasant. The only time I could think of is when a customer did get rained on, but they said it wasn't awful. You know, they were like, I actually kind of liked it, but it started thundering, so I had to leave. So it gets dangerous, which is understandable. And then we also have like some refund policies, like stuff like that. Yeah. If it starts raining on them, what we do is we'll redo the booking. If they've had the booking for about an hour, what we'll do is we'll just take money off of their next booking.
I see.
Yeah. So but I haven't got there yet, knock on wood, where I have somebody that I just like, I absolutely hated all this. And I'm like, you know, I haven't got to that point yet. So happy customers.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What about a memorable experience?
I think one of the more memorable ones is when I had a customer. She was doing a surprise picnic for her girlfriend. Well, they were kind of they were like seeing each other, but she wanted her to be her girlfriend, right? And so she was doing this like surprise picnic,
right.
And so she asked me about getting a violinist. And I'm like, I don't know, I had a violinist at a picnic. So she ended up finding a violinist. She was amazing. She's playing the violin. I forget which song she was playing, but it was a current song that she was playing. She had a little speaker, and it was just beautiful. And the whole picnic's all set up. The girl has her violin,
Right.
and she's walking up with her girl. She's blindfolded. She's walking up with her friend or her potential girlfriend, and they're walking up, and like everybody's watching. They're like taking photos, and like she's playing the violin, and the music's playing, and it was just like the moment. And I'm just like, wow, this is nice. Like it was just like it was really, really nice. And it's nice to see people like so awed, like in awe of like something that you've put together, you know? So I would say that's like one of my more memorable experiences for sure.
That's cool. With that, when you set up and everything and you have the time limit, do you stay there off in the cut or something? Or do you leave and come back?
I'm not, I was not stalking him in the corner, like on the corner and stuff. No, I leave it. I just I have designated areas where like I have like my picnics and stuff, you know, make sure I know if I leave it for a little bit, I'm not going to come back and it's gone.
Right.
I leave, I meet them. Mm-hmm. Right. And then it's a 2-hour booking. And then, from there, cause I live local. And I make sure that I let them know. I'm like, listen, I was like, I only set up local right now because I am a one-man show. I mean, I do have some people that help me right now. We're growing. I'm looking to add people on my team and to grow. So, but I make sure where I'm not too far where I can still go home. I'm like maybe 10, 15 minutes from like the park and also from the beach. It's like St. Pete is like prime location downtown, and that's where I'm at downtown. So I can go home, walk my dog, and take a shower while they're doing their picnic, and then or go eat or like go to the store, like just go do the things you need to do.
Right.
But no, I let them have the picnic for 2 hours, but I'll get there like maybe like a 15 quarter of the end of their booking, and I'll meet them. Or they'll text me and say, hey, they want to leave early, but I'm always pretty close. And, but yeah, that's usually what I do. I don't stay around. So, I mastered the bubble picnic at first. And then once I got really good with that, I'm like, all right, let's do another option. Let's do like a beach picnic. I tried bringing the bubble on the beach. It almost turned into a kite in flight. It was because it's about 6 feet.
Yeah.
And it's a tent. And I was like, I'm all optimistic. I'm like, yeah, sure, I can bring her on the beach. Nope.
It took off on you?
It almost took off. I had my son with me actually, and he's holding the other side, and it starts blowing. I'm like, nope. It's not a cheap tent, so I'm like, I literally like flattened it back down. I was like, we can't do this.
Right. So does he help you setting up, or did he help you at first when you were getting started before the team and you got before you got going?
So he helps me. He actually helped me set up one at the very beginning. When I first bought the tent, I set it up in the backyard where I was living at the time because I didn't know how it's set up. I don't want to. I just want to see how it worked, and so or like how I would want it set up, and like what stuff do I want to use inside. So I just set up in the yard, and he came out and he helped me set up, and we actually did our own first picnic together. And I actually was making my own charcuterie boards at the time. Mm-hmm. And then I learned that there's charcuterie board companies. I was like, yes, please, because that's not my thing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so you find somebody else that does better than, it's not your strong point, so you find somebody else that can pick up where you lack. So, yeah, I think it's really important to also like show your kids that, obviously school and college and everything is really important, but that you are capable of doing your own thing.
Yeah,
too.
but isn't that how any business starts within family, and then they get relatives to help them out?
Right. Yeah. You're right. Because because you know them, they know how you work, they know how your mind works, But like especially because like your kids too, because they're like a sponge at that age. So like anything you tell them, they're just like okay, like like they'll just show, especially like for money, especially a 15-year-old, you just like, all right, like, here's like $50. He's like, I'll do the whole thing. And I'm like, it's all right, I'll show you how to do it, But I think that's definitely one of the big things is like showing like my son, like how entrepreneurship works, how being independent,
right.
Being courageous, not being afraid to try and do your own thing. And Because at first he was like a little nervous because we were out in public setting up. He's like, "Mom, are you sure we could do this? You know, out here, like there's like people around. You know, because we have this like big tent and like all this other stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, baby." I was like, "Other people actually do this." He was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, you can't let other people, like, legally, yes, you can set up a picnic." But he was, I was just trying to teach him, like, you know, don't allow other people's like opinion of you to stop you doing from what you want to do, you know, because I knew at first, like, I probably look silly out there, like trying to put the picnic. I would kind of get nervous because people are watching you. They're like, "What is this lady doing over here, setting up all this stuff?" So just trying to tell him, you know, like teaching him things that I've learned.
Is there one or more areas of your business that you want to maximize going forward?
I had a lot I'm actually currently working on for the future. So new packages that I'm putting together. I'm actually launching an engagement package. This weekend, we're actually doing the content for it. I have multiple different women-owned businesses that are coming in as vendors, and we're going to be putting a new package together. So working on more options for my customers, aside from just a beach or a bubble picnic, and holiday picnics, too. People love that stuff. So we're doing like spooky picnics. That's already one I have together. I know, it's really cool. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, that sounds
love it. Super nostalgic. But also I want to do a Christmas picnic, and so packages, and also focus more on building like my team and hiring like a solid team, you know, and launching in New Jersey, like 100% launching. I did my soft launch in New Jersey, my hometown, and it was huge. So I think the hardest part about business is finding reliable people.
Unreliable people get the buzzer.
Unreliable. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Unreliable people.
Okay. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, they do. They definitely get the buzzer, man. Because it's crazy to me, like how people just won't show up, or they won't, like, I don't know. You just have to have people that really. Nobody's gonna run your business like you do, but you having people that really believe in it like you do, like that's what I'm trying to find, and that's what I want to build in New Jersey. So that's the idea, is to have the different options on my website. New Jersey, Florida, which one would you like to book? So that's the goal, is to build that team.
That's a good vision.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this. Can you tell?
Yeah, you've been thinking about it. That's good.
Yeah.
And soon you'll be...
Yeah.
So at the end of August, there's a voting that ends for Tampa Bay's best owned women-owned business.
Yeah.
And you're nominated for that. Why do you think you got nominated and you only been in business for a year and a half?
Honestly, work ethic, building networking, and also because I feel like because I didn't do it alone, and I worked with so many other people, I was able to, the business grew a lot more, I feel, because I brought so many people on board with me. Because I could have, honestly, like I could have charged the same price and not offered a charcuterie board or custom wine glasses or any other services from any business. I didn't have to, because actually that would have matched the other prices of the other companies. But I think because I was focused more on like building together than just myself, you know, and you know, all of us like just building with others. Like I said, I feel like that's probably one of the things that really are one of the factors in why I was nominated, especially Best Women-Owned Business, like focusing on other women-owned businesses with every booking that I have, and making sure that, you know, I get out there and I talk about it and I support other women, and you know, you get back what you give out. So I think that's probably like why I'm there, you know.
Who was your celebrity crush growing up, or past or current?
I would say one of my celebrity crushes is definitely The Rock. Dwayne Johnson has, ever since I was little, even when he was like wrestling, you know, when he still had hair. I still think he looks great without hair. And so he's definitely one of my celebrity crushes. Also because like he's still doing, still doing his thing even outside of like wrestling. He became like a really big entrepreneur, big family man. Love that, so definitely celebrity crush.
Okay. Biggest regret?
I try not to regret things and try to repurpose it, but
we're human. Everybody has regret.
right. I think one of the biggest regrets that I have was not working on myself earlier in life. Healing, I would say. I didn't start healing and working on myself until I was like 25. And I wish I would have done it sooner, working on like my traumas and stuff like that. Because I think, but I think about it, I don't know if I'd be here where I am today if I took a different path, So I think the adversities that I went through later on in life too, I think, it definitely brought me to where I'm at.
Tupac or Biggie?
So I would say I love Biggie, but I would say Tupac over Biggie, to be honest with you.
I did not expect that.
I know, because we talked about this before.
Right, I did not expect
and
that.
I really thought about that answer, and it is important. It is an important question. And I'm gonna tell you
and you're
why.
From Jersey.
And I'm
Anybody watching from Jersey?
Yeah, don't hold this against me. I know all Biggie songs. That's right. Okay, so, but like, I like Tupac because he also was very pro like women, like supporting women that come out of adversities, and I related a lot to that. Like, I love Biggie songs,
Biggie shitted on
but
women.
but right. But when it comes down to like who they are and what you can relate to more, like you can like the music, but then if you like a certain them as like a person, not that I knew either of them personally, but I would say I like Tupac for sure because he was just more like, I don't know, he's more poetic in his music.
Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee, 100%.
Cold, iced coffee or
hot? Cold, it's just, I mean, I'll even drink hot coffee and it's 90 degrees outside. I know it sounds crazy. It depends on my mood, not the weather.
Song that gets you hyped up? Adrenaline going. You can just put it on. You got to go to work or you got to do pop-up.
So, Drake's Sticky is like, such a random song to say. That's definitely one of my favorite songs when I'm like, it's just like the beat. And then what's that new song that just came out with The Stallion, Megan Thee Stallion. Oh, Girls in the Hood. That is my song, especially when like I'm working out. You can't tell me anything when I'm listening to that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just in the gym. Don't look at me. I'm doing my thing. Can't tell me nothing. So yeah, like those two songs are like my pump up song when I'm about to hit like a PR at the gym or something. Or
right.
Yeah, I don't play it at the park though because it's not really.
So
yeah, it's
when
not
that
a nice
comes
song to
on,
play.
you're a badass. When that
yeah, you can't tell me nothing.
What about a song that's a soundtrack to your life, past or present life? Like that song got you through stuff.
Andy Grammer, really was like my go-to guy when I was going through like a spiritual awakening thing, and I was very cautious of the music I listened to. I wasn't listening to Megan Thee Stallion or nobody at that time, but Andy Grammer was on my everyday list. So 85, it's called Andy Grammer 85, and the song's about I don't want to wait till I'm 85 to like live my life and grow. Andy Grammer Grow. That's another one. Those are two really big songs that like they mean a lot to me. That reflect a lot of like how I feel, with a perspective like on life, like when I'm feeling like down or, it's just a nice pick me up. And it's also a song that I used to sing, like my brother liked it too.
Yeah,
And
those songs got you through, huh?
Yeah, for sure. When I was having like real rough days, I would listen to those songs.
Okay.
Yep.
That's cool. Good to know. What's your alcoholic drink of choice? If you're out social drinking or if you're, going with the girls?
So, I don't really drink hard liquor anymore. It takes me about like 3 to 5 business days to recover now that I'm older. So we're not drinking hard liquor anymore.
It takes you the average shipping, huh? 3 to 5 days.
Right.
Like shipping.
Right. I think Amazon package can get to me faster than I can recover back. Than recover from alcohol. So actually, I'm a pale ale girl. Since I moved to Florida, I love pale ales. And so Three Daughters Beach Blonde is my favorite. Whether I'm at the bar or the beach or at home. Actually, at home, I like red wine. But you can't be drinking red wine out in the sun. So, but yes, pale ales are one of my favorites. I really like breweries now. I don't know who I am anymore when I think about that because you talked to me 7 years ago. I never would drink beer ever.
What about your favorite book?
The Brain by Deepak Chopra. Total game changer. The Secret, which is about the law of attraction and how you get back what you give out in regards to energy. And I totally believe in that. I notice the more that I work on my energy, I talk about my business, I speak on life, I speak life into others.
Right.
Excuse me. It comes back 100%. And so that was another book that made a huge difference for me.
Favorite influencer or entrepreneur?
So my favorite, one of my favorite influencers, I would say is Jay Shetty. Is probably one of my favorite influencers because he, first off, the content that he gives out is all about like balance and being an entrepreneur. Sometimes I feel like I follow a lot of different entrepreneurs, and I feel like some entrepreneurs are all go, no slow down kind of thing. And I've burnt out a lot of times in my life. So anybody who is putting out content about being an entrepreneur, but then also taking the time to be very, to work on yourself internally, I think that's what you need for the long game. Because you could work hard now, but if you're all work and no slow down, you're gonna burn out. So I like Jay Shetty and also his story of how he got to where he's at.
Yeah, good stories are always important.
Yeah.
So are you spontaneous or routine?
I would say my ADD keeps me spontaneous. I aim to be more routine. So I'm very routine in certain things. But I'm a thinker. I like to think of like, all right, how can we do this and what's next and, this whole thing. But I do think routine's very important. So I have to I'm naturally more spontaneous. But I'm working on being a more routine person because you need that.
You need structure.
Yep, for sure.
2 things on your bucket list.
Personally or for business or both?
Both. Well, actually, personally, because your business, you already got into what you want to maximize. So personal.
So some personal goals that I have is, to be a more involved mom. I'm trying to learn how to be more involved at having a teenager, because like my son is different now. Like we can't just go play like Legos and, play cars and stuff. So I'm trying to find ways to continue on having a relationship. I'm always going to obviously have a relationship with my kid, but like being close to him, and finding things that we can relate on. So like I've been, working out. He likes that. I love working out. So I'm teaching him things as I go, with my business too. And I'm also signed up for the PTA for his high school. He thinks it's funny. He's like, really, Mom, you're going to be in the PTA? I'm like, yeah, it's the only way I'm going to get in. And I know stuff, because you're not going to tell me stuff. So I have to like pull it out of you. So,
Hey, son, how was your day? It was good.
That's literally him every time. It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
So what happened? It was the first day. What happened? Nothing.
really 100%. That's him, like verbatim.
Nothing.
So told you he's an introvert. He can't get much out. I gotta pull it out of him. So, just trying to be a more involved mom with a teenager.
Yeah.
And also allowing myself to more personal goals. I want to travel more.
To where? Because this is a bucket list. I got the involvement with your son, which is good.
Yeah.
Where do you want to travel?
I just want to start going to different cities. I haven't really gotten too thorough with that, as I should. I should get more clear with it. So that's definitely. I do have a bucket list of goals that I want to work on. I want to travel with my son.
That's good.
Start going to like different cities, just getting his his mindset out there, and just the experiences. I feel like you can buy stuff, but experiences last forever.
Is there anything you want to add before you give your social media handles and where they can find you again?
Anything personal? I don't know. I just
Personal or business?
Yeah, I just help you just keep striving to be more than just don't be scared. I think a lot of people let shame and the afraid of people judging them or public failure and stuff get to them from trying something new.
Right.
Forget what people forget everything going on around you. Get tunnel vision with your stuff. Don't allow people to make you feel like you're not capable. Fail forward. Even if you don't do it, even if you fail, if you fail forward and you learn something from it, you're failing forward. Learn from it and keep going. I think that's the best ending statement I could probably tell people.
That was a good piece.
Thanks. Thank you.
And where can they find you?
Picnic Chemistry across the board. I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram. I'm getting there. but yeah, Picnic Chemistry on Instagram, on my website, Facebook. I'm still learning how to use TikTok, so don't judge me. I'm an older millennial. So we're getting there.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Jenna.
Yeah,
We're
thanks
gonna
for having
close
me.
out.
This is nice.